But first, chaotic scenes erupted on London's Oxford Street this afternoon as police rallied to control crowds of youths after a social media-fuelled campaign to rob a high street shop went viral. 3 young men were detained by the Met Police as officers scrambled to control the mob. One officer was even punched during their efforts to protect shops and disperse the crowds. Police units have been stationed on the UK's biggest high street since yesterday after a TikTok video encouraging social media users to rob a branch of JD Sports was widely shared online. The post tells users to bring balaclavas and gloves and to gather at 3 p.m. today. A dispersal order has been put in place in the area until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, which gives police the power to ban people from the area for 48 hours. A number of things occur to me. The first thing is, how difficult is it to find the first person who actually said,
put that on
go
TikTok?
and do this? How difficult can it be? Well, I mean, I don't do TikTok, so I don't know, but surely you go, there's the tweet, arrest that man or woman, or they, whoever they are.
But it's not a real account, it's a fake account, obviously. That's what they do. This is lawless Britain, completely out of hand. You've got social media.
Isn't it? TikTok's worldwide, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and essentially that platform has allowed an advert, essentially advertising and promoting lawless shoplifting and theft, and they didn't take it down. I talked about gender questioning, and I was taken down and cancelled for hate speech and inciting violence. TikTok have got serious questions to answer.
Yeah, they really have.
But that doesn't in any way excuse the lawlessness that's going on literally as we speak. The videos circulating on social media. I mean, this is unbelievable. The heart of central London.
The good thing is that they knew it was happening, or they knew that, so therefore they were at least prepared. I mean, the worry is the success of this might actually mean that other people go, do you know what? That's actually not a bad idea.
I agree, and I think you've got to ask yourself, what is the culture that has allowed people to think they can get away with behaving like this? And actually, most of them did get away with behaving like that. There could be an argument that every single person that attended purely to answer that call of let's go and make a raid on JD Sports is culpable of something. And in other countries where people actually fear the judicial system, they just wouldn't be doing this.
But this is just kids, unfortunately. You talk about lawless Britain. This isn't a bunch of 40-year-olds.
They're not kids, they're young people.
They're kids. These are teenagers.
Not actual kids.
That is no excuse at all. I'm sorry. That is
listen. Well, let me finish. Let me finish. But the fact is, these are young people who aren't scared of consequences of the law. They think to them it's a game. They go down there, they run around the shops. A couple of them go in and get arrested. Nothing happens to the rest of them. And that's it. The police have done a good job, I think, in it. But unfortunately, you're going to have to go send down an army there to stop all of those kids and arrest all of them. Because
it looks like, from the latest videos I've just seen, that you have got essentially huge quantities. You've gone down to sort of just test it, see what's there, and then possibly just wade into lots of other stores as huge quantities of goods, and essentially just too many for the police to deal with.
This is the epicentre of our new shoplifting culture, isn't it? This was always going to happen. I mean, shoplifters get away with it at will now. Staff are told not to tackle them. The companies have policies whereby, as long as it's less than £1,000 or something, they just don't bother with it. The police will not investigate, and this was always going to happen, and it will happen more.
It'll get worse.
And I think the government have got to cut. So it is about lawless Britain. It's so ludicrous, the number of offences that the police think are beneath them now and will not investigate or arrest. And the government have got to come down on TikTok like a ton of bricks over
But surely it's no coincidence that this comes only a few days after the government changed and made a big song and a dance of changing the policy on how often you can get caught for shoplifting and without any consequence. And that was well advertised,
This was the big government crackdown. That in the past, they said the system was you had to be caught shoplifting 50 times before they considered jail. And the government said, we're going to crack down on this. It's 20 times now. How about once?
You'll have copycat incidents of this all over towns and cities now over the coming weeks and months. And the government, we'll see, but the government will sort of wring their hands. But unless you actually create a proper deterrent, as you said, if no one fears the consequences, it gets worse and worse.
This is going to become a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's
going to become.
But it's already been a thing. It's been a thing for a few years, but now it's a big thing to us because it's happened in central London. But this is the generation of TikTok. This is social media. They're following a trend. So I imagine, like I spoke to one of the guys we mentioned. I don't know if you mentioned him in your intro.
No, I didn't. I didn't mention any particular
Mizzy,
person.
the TikTok terror, as he was known.
He's the one who filmed himself going into people's houses.
Yeah. So this is him. He was there earlier today. This is his own video that his friends were taking. He was down there with his friends just to observe. He wasn't down there to get involved. And to me, this is exactly the kind of thing we see at football matches when you've got a small section of, say, hooligans who are there to cause trouble. Everyone else stands around and watches the trouble going on, but not everyone who's there is causing the issue. But even, and I spoke to Mizzy about this earlier, even his presence there, I feel, was a problem. And if people weren't going down there to watch it, then there'd be less commotion.
Yeah, it's not a spectator sport.
But it is a spectator sport for people who haven't got anything else to do.
Right, but you could actually go a culture in which that can be a thing.
But you could go back and back and back and go from the moment they shut down all the youth centres, from the moment they made it so it was really difficult to go and gather somewhere and go and do this.
I'm not buying any of that. Don't talk to me about youth centres.
It's shoplifting.
I know, but I'm just saying,
and people have got to know, and there've got to be consequences.